Hello everyone, I have a example over here which is a column, and we are going to create the cadding today together with the construction profile. So I'm just going to give you a full example how can this be done in PYTHA. So this was a profile that I extracted from a column. So if we were to have the full column, it will actually look something like this. Okay. So what I did was I cut it into half, okay, and I can just delete this center line. Okay, so I only needed this profile and I can save this. So over in PYTHA, we just go to File, Import, DWG, bring in the profile. Okay, over here we have 3 lines, you can see from the project tree. And I'm just going to use H tools to close the chain so that this becomes a single edge now. Okay, next I'm just going to rotate this by the x-axis on the 90-degree. And then move this point to the origin. Okay, so now I have something like this. And immediately I can go to Parts, Revolve, and select this edge. So now we have a circular profile like this. So next, I want to make the external a surface. So what do? Just go to Face Tools, Delete, and I select the top face and the bottom face and delete it away. So now immediately this becomes a surface. Okay. Next, we use the parallel command. So go to Parts, then go to Parallel, select this, and instead of 20 mm, I'll say negative 6 mm, so that it goes inwards by 6 mm. And I'll say delete the original shell. Done. So now we have a full solid over here. What we will do next, okay, because I know that this structure is made up of 6 lines. So I can go to Part Tools 2, under Section, I click on Lines, and I say bottom to top, which is XY. Instead of 20, we say 7. Okay, so you see I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. If I want to make this more obvious, I can change this shell to rate, and I say lines to 7 lines, and I can see the lines in a blue orientation. Okay, so I can do something like this because for this area I want it to cut just nicely like this. So I just say okay, 9 counts is good. Done. Next, what we are going to do, we are going to section this solid. So I'm going to the front now, and what we'll use under Part Tools 1, you'll see a cutting plane. All you need to do is select this solid, which is the red line, and say ruler. And I use this edge as the reference, so I say cut something like this, keeping all parts. So repeat this command for every line. So once everything has been cut, if I were to explode this model, you will see that these are all individual. Okay, so I'm just going to explode again, but this time I'll press 40, so it goes back nicely. Okay, so next, from here we need to do the profile so that you are able to do a solid. Okay, so if I know that all these are the same, so for this demo, for this example, I'm just going to do the first 3 tiers. Okay, the first 3 tiers. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to move this, okay, away so that it doesn't disrupt. And over here, if I want to do a solid for the internal, I just go to Parts, or I just go to Faces, and I say circle at 3 points, and I zoom in and I say, okay, this is my first point, this is my second point, and this is my third internal point. here. So immediately a surface is created. A face is created. And I can say parts, profile, faces, this face, upwards. Maybe my panel is 25 mm. Okay, so if I off my solid, you can see, okay, 25 mm. Okay, I can change the radius. I can still change the radius, okay, by just going to tools 2, change radius, selecting this radius. Okay, but just remember before that I'll say this part invisible, okay, so that I can select. If not, I'll be selecting both radius. So immediately I know my radius is 944. We can change it down to a nicer number, 940. Okay, or you can remain it at 944. So this depends on what we want. Okay, so next we'll say all parts visible again. Okay, and I'll off my solid. And now what we just need to do is to just copy. So I'm just going to copy edge center to somewhere along here. And the good thing about in PYTHA, with this dialog box, I just say move Z. So see straight at the center. And I can also just say copy, again edge center to somewhere around here. And instead of 1, I'll say give me 2. Done. So you can see we have our profile done easily, the internal sections. Next, I'm just going to copy this upwards. Okay, copy this in the Z direction, because we want to create we don't want this to be solid. Okay, so I'm just going to change radius, and over here instead of 944, I'll say okay, give me maybe 50 mm. Okay, so done. So something like this, and now I'm just going to double click this, and instead of 25, I can just give it a very big number, maybe just 3000. Okay, and what we can do next, okay, I'm just going to say selected parts invisible, which is this tree. Okay, and now use the boolean differential copy. This stays, this, and finally difference for the last part, because I don't no longer need the solid. So immediately you can see I have the rings done. So this will form my internal structure. Okay, so next, because this is still too big to do a nesting, what we need to do now is to isolate everything. How do we do that? We go into the top view, okay, and immediately we can use the command again, cutting plane. Select everything, ruler, and I'll say this point to here, keeping all parts. Do the same thing again, ruler, this point to here, keeping all parts. So now what happens if I were to explode this model? You'll see that the models have already been isolated, like this. And with this, we can immediately create our nesting. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to create a 2440 by 25. Okay. I'm just going to copy this for 2 watts. Okay, and then I'm just going to put a routing command, and I'll try equal geometry, see if PYTHA can detect. Good. PYTHA detects that everything, all this are all equal. And I'll say, okay, give me using my 8mm router machining command. I'll say nesting. I'll say these are my robots, and I'll say equal geometry to everything here. I'll say do the nesting with a spacing of 8. Okay, so immediately you can see that PYTHA is not able to nest the rest of the panel because I don't have enough raw material. So usually what I always like to do, okay, you will still face this in version 23, but in version 24, okay, when you do nesting, if you have a shortage of board, PYTHA will give you more boards to add. So I do not need to do this step in version 24. So that's good news for everyone. Instead of 1, I'll just say 10. You know? So nesting, equal geometry so that all the 4x8s are selected, and I'm going to nest equal geometry, which is here. Okay, we do the nesting again. Done. So from here we can see that we need about three parts to produce. Okay, and the good thing about this is that immediately we can say export to cam. Okay, and I can fire up Maestro. So Maestro is the CNC program for SCM machines. I can also do the same thing for Homac or for BSA. So immediately you can see that the programming, the routing has all been done. So immediately we can proceed to manufacture. Okay. The next thing, the last part would be this curve panels. Okay, so I know that these curve panels are the same for this four. So I can just go to part tools 2D revolve. I'll just select one of this face. Immediately I have a face. So PYTHA flattens it out. I say OK. And I'll say that this thickness is maybe 6 mm. Create a profile, melt the face. Done. So I'm just going to move it over here. Done. So I have one panel, and I know that it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 panels. So I'm just going to copy. Okay. And I know that it's about 600. So I'm just going to copy, comma, 600. Give me 7 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Done. Okay. Next will be here. Same thing. 2D revolve. Just select this face center. Enter. 6 mm sheet thickness. Create profile and melt the surface. Just going to move this over to here. And we are just going to copy this profile. Okay, I know that this is about 200. So we are just going to copy, comma, 300, 3 more. Done. So next I can go back to workshop and I can tell PYTHA, okay, routed parts, everything here, done, and give a 8 mm router, or maybe I can use a 3 mm because this is much thinner. Okay, so next I can create again a panel 2440, 1220, 6 mm. I'm just going to copy this panel by about 2000, and I'm going to say again 10 panels. Okay, so nesting, equal geometry, or rather I can do equal geometry. Okay, or I can just mass select this, and then I can select all of this, enter, and I'll say nesting. Instead of margin at parts of 8, I change it to 5. So immediately we have the panels done. Okay, so these panels are done, so I can use this for nesting. Okay, but if I do not want to use this for nesting, and because these are all straight panels, I can use my panel sort. Okay, so how do I go into my panel sort? I go to parts, part list. I say I only want this area, this size. Enter. Okay, I'll say a new list. Same thing. I'm just going to select the same last set, and instead of a default template, I'll say give me my optimal template. Done. Okay, there's some names. I didn't name it, so it's okay. I'm just going to export it into a desktop. Okay. So launch Optimo. So Optimo is the SCM optimizing software. I can just open up a profile test. So over here, I have all these columns done. So in Optimo, I just go to jobs, new. Okay, and paste it over here. And I'm just going to say profile, and immediately we can process this job. I'll say use this panel. Okay. So right now, Optimo is counting the number of panels that is needed. But you see, you have a certain issue here. So I'm just going to stop. because actually this column, the length should be here and the width, it should be here. For PYTHA, I exported in the wrong settings. So if we make this small parameter, we are going to see that you are able to do the optimizing. So I can just state a description, the length, okay, and I just say optimize. So immediately, Optimo optimizes the panel, and you can see that we have a single pattern here, okay, and we need about 4 patterns to cut this. Okay, so this can immediately go into the panel sort, and now this is how we process the panels in PYTHA. So you can see in PYTHA our own nesting is as accurate as optimizing. So you can use PYTHA to optimize and send it, and with this pattern go into the machine, into your running sort, or you can use Optimo. If you have a SCM machine, you have a Homac machine, use CutRight. But this is generally an idea on how we process such a Cadding. And you can see with PYTHA and with the power of 3D, you actually are able to produce this much faster compared to just using AutoCAD. If you have any questions, do drop us a comment in the comment section of the video. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.